Hello, welcome back here in the Cadence Weather Center here for our daily weather outlook of December 17, 2024. A lot to pay attention to here with the snowfall threat and the winter storm warnings that are continuing on over here for the next couple of days, as we're already starting to see some snow actually heading into central parts of Iowa and really majority of South Dakota dealing with some of that snowfall today. And you kind of can see that here on the radar. But also we're going to be paying attention to that marginal risk that's continuing on down in the southeast and what that could bring to the southeast for temperatures as that cold front will continue to move down. But let's take a look here at the United States and what we're looking at here with the weather right now. As of right now, you know, it's looking very quiet around the United States, so that's good news. But obviously, we still see those snow showers that are continuing on in the central, parts of the United States. That's heading into Iowa and Minnesota, but majority of that snowfall is kind of just hanging out in South Dakota and will be like that for majority of the day today. And then some of that rainfall is starting to head in from the West Coast and now pushing into parts of Seattle and then possibly even to Portland, Oregon. So really, if you live on the West Coast here of Washington and Oregon, expect a pretty big, rainfall threat today, and maybe a little bit of snow showers as well in there with this a little system that's coming in from the northwest. Then we have that severe weather threat would be right in here in this marginal risk. We're going to see a little bit of the thunderstorms start to really start to ramp up as we head into this evening. Not obviously anything too big of severe, and we'll talk about that severe weather threat here shortly, but nothing too major or too severe with this threat. And you can clearly see right now on the radar not much is going on, but that is expected to change as we head into the next couple of hours. Let's take a look here at the Northeast. This is kind of what we're going to be expecting our heaviest snow to be here in the next couple of days. So that's why we're taking a look here at the Northeast. As of right now here, in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 hours out, we're going to be having these scattered, showers and thunderstorms kind of going on in the Northeast here. That's including Buffalo. You can see that. And then Syracuse, you guys can be dealing with some of that, as well as New York City and Philadelphia. Some of that rainfall will be continuing. Then you head into around 13, 15, 16, 17 hours out. We'll start to clear up a really good amount here, but then you head into around 24 hours out, still a little bit clear, still maybe a little bit of snow showers that could be happening in central New York heading all the way up into Maine. Then we start to reach up here into around 35 hours out. That's where we're starting to see some of that snowfall continuing on in Michigan that will, impact Toledo, Detroit. The rainfall threat will continue down in Ohio, stretching down to the south. That's another cold front that will be coming down as well. And we'll see all these storms kind of just push down, and then the snowfall will kind of push off to the east here. And that's kind of what we're paying attention to with the Northeast. Then you head into around 38 hours out, 40 hours. You can see 41 hours from right now, so almost 2 days. So heavy snowfall will be going over here over the lake, and we'll see it continue to push over here to the east, and that will impact parts of New York and really just the Northeast. And we can already see in the next 41 hours here, heading into Wednesday, possibly even heading into Thursday, we could possibly be seeing something pretty interesting with this rain kind of mixing with the snow, so that will cause a little bit of more sleet, and we'll have a little bit of mixture of rain and snow involved here in central Pennsylvania. And we'll talk about that here pretty shortly and what you guys could expect here. Heading into 45 hours out, 46 hours out, this is where the snowfall really starts to ramp up Wednesday night heading into early Thursday morning. That's according to this model run here. Heaviest snowfall will be continuing on in New York, heading into a majority of that northeast, and then on the southern side, rainfall threat will continue on. So New York City, you guys will be dealing with more of that rainfall than the snowfall. Same with Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and that will continue down to push to the south, that rainfall. But we'll continue to see really a lot of that snowfall start to pick up over here in the next couple of days. We'll see a lot of that snowfall kind of head around here, and then heading into around 2 days from now, once again, early Thursday morning, we're seeing a lot of that snowfall still continuing on over here in the Northeast, while majority of that rain starting to make its way off the east coast of the United States. So big change there. But obviously with the snowfall, the temperatures are going to change. That is for sure. Heading into around later today, the temperatures continuing to, climb, and then we'll start to drop a little bit more. Michigan's in the, mid to lower 30s here, Ohio into the upper 30s. Then you head more over here to the Northeast, New York 44, and parts of central New York 38, and some parts of the New York City area could be 45. 51 degrees here in New Jersey. So, kind of reaching around everywhere with the snow. Obviously with the snow coming in, it's going to be freezing temperatures, and we'll see that here. Temperatures will kind of drop as that cold front kind of heads in. here around that 36-hour mark. That's when we start to see Michigan reaching up into the upper 20s in some areas here, but then that's when we start to see some of these temperatures drop here in the Northeast to about freezing temperatures there. And then around 42, 40, next 2 days, we'll start to ramp up once again after the snowfall is gone. So that will kind of be later on this week, maybe even getting into this weekend. But you can see in the next 2 days here for Thursday, you kind of can see these temperatures, and these are high temperatures once again. These are high temperatures on what we could be expecting here for, the next couple of days. 24 degrees here in parts of Michigan, so the mid 20s, and then still continue to reach into these 30s and maybe even upper 20s here in the Northeast as well. We're kind of just seeing that here, but the low temperatures here for the next couple of days heading into around Thursday, we can obviously see big cold blast of air going through Canada, but this is really, Michigan reaching up into almost the teens as well up here in northern Michigan, 30s and 29s going on right here in parts of the Northeast. Then you head into day 4 here. This will be on Friday's lows. We can clearly see it starts to warm up a little bit more, but majority of the warmer air will kind of stay on this part of the map here. If you live in northern New York here and all the way up to Maine, you guys could be reaching up into the single digits for low temperatures. And then you head into around day 6. This is where it's going to be really cold here for -4 degrees, 0 in Maine here. We could clearly see some areas are going to be starting to reach into the negatives, and you really definitely could see that here with the low temperatures on day 7, as we could be seeing some more snowfall here in the next week as well. And that's a big thing. Who's going to get that snowfall when Christmas happens, especially. Everyone would like a white Christmas, but obviously when it comes down to freezing temperatures, that's a big thing. But you can clearly see -5, -12 here in several areas, -4, -6. Really some deep cold temperatures here next Monday, and then we'll start to ramp up once again here, so that's at least some good news. So around Christmas time, we will most likely see these temperatures in the teens, but still pretty nice temperatures, for Christmas time with the snowfall. So we'll have to keep an eye out, obviously, on that very, very closely. Heading into the next 72, 96 hours out, that's when you start to see the snowfall really start to ramp up here. 3 inches in some of these New York areas here, 2 inches in parts of the Northeast states, including Vermont, and then 5 inches here in northern Michigan as well. Heading into around 5 days out, heading into 6 days out, and then I believe 9 days, so 8 days. So this is Christmas right here, 8 days. You can clearly kind of see still, now this is in the next 8 days, 3 inches of snow could be possible in some of these areas, the purple reaching up into 6 to 8 inches possibly of some snow. So we'll have little spots here that do get some of that heavier snowfall here, but mostly in Michigan is going to be getting that heaviest of snowfall. And then here in the next 10 days, majority of, once again, that snowfall will stay off the East Coast. So you guys will just get a little bit of that snowfall, but not as much as what the water is expected to get, the ocean. Taking a look here at the severe weather threat for today, let's take a look at this. We'll transfer onto this side. Day 1, this is the severe weather outlook. Marginal risk continues on in parts of southeastern Oklahoma, maybe even more of Texas as well. That most northeastern tip of Texas. Arkansas and Tennessee will be the biggest states involved in the severe weather threat today. Once again, there's a small tornado chance, but you can't rule one out, obviously. And then the wind and the hail chance will be our biggest factor here, but majority of that will be wind with a cold front kind of coming down. We'll see a little bit more of that, wind kind of pick up here, a little bit gusty. Are we expecting a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings? No, but maybe 50, 60 mile an hour winds could be anticipated here. Tomorrow, a little bit more of a quieter day, no marginal risk, but we could see a little bit of a change with that. We'll have to definitely see, because yesterday, in my previous video, we were expecting today to just be a thunderstorm day and not really a marginal risk, but that was issued this morning. So we'll have to keep an eye out, obviously, on that very, very closely to see if the National Weather Service changes it at all throughout the next couple of days. But this is heading into tomorrow. You can clearly see the majority of the southeast is really involved with some scattered thunderstorms and showers that we could be expecting here in the next couple of days, or heading into tomorrow. And we'll take a look at this here on the future radar. So taking a look at this 10 hours from now, you kind of can see that line of thunderstorms kind of dissipates here a little bit as we head into tonight, and then heading into around 24 hours out, a little bit of those scattered showers and thunderstorms going on throughout the Florida Peninsula, just like we were talking about yesterday. But majority of those rains, up here in the south central United States here, we're definitely seeing a little bit of those scattered showers and thunderstorms that are expected around 36 hours out. So around 3 days, we'll be seeing that cold front really start to come down here. A little sea breeze type of storms, not really exactly sea breeze, but still pretty, kind of sea breeze because they're pushing east to west here, but that will eventually make its way into the Florida Peninsula and bring some heavy scattered showers and thunderstorms to the Florida Peninsula, and then we'll see majority of this rainfall here with that cold front that will come down here and really bring those cooler temperatures as well. But you can see here in the 48 hours, we could definitely see in the next 2 days, we could definitely see that majority of that rain does stay into the east coast of Florida, but definitely starts reaching by, maybe just south of I-4, and then we could see a little bit of those scattered showers and thunderstorms off the coast of the United States here, but mostly in South Carolina and Georgia, could see some spotty thunderstorms as well. So taking a look at these temperatures, though, the high temperatures, what are we expecting? Well, here for the next 2 days, we're expecting here a little bit of those temperatures to continue to warm up here as we head into, the daytime. So for the next 2 days, the southeast will be dealing with some pretty hot temperatures. Then we go into the low temperatures. This is where we'll start to see where that cold front exactly is. Day 2, day 3, you can see by day 3, we're already starting to see some of those temperatures here in Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas. You guys can see some of that into the 30s, almost freezing temperatures there. Heading into day 5, day 6. Let's go back to day 5 here. We can clearly see 20s here in parts of Tennessee, heading through Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Alabama in the freezing temperatures. Same with Georgia in the freezing temperatures. And once again, on day 5, Saturday, almost getting into the freezing temperatures here down for the Florida panhandle. And then we'll start to see a ramp up once again as we head in to next week here. We could be seeing a little bit more, and the temperatures around the 50s. In Florida, really, 30s around the Carolinas, maybe even up in the upper 20s in the Carolinas for Christmas time. So a lot to be paying attention to, obviously, throughout the next couple of days. What are we expecting with the temperature changes? What are we expecting with the snowfall? What are we expecting with the severe weather threat? Not much, obviously, going on around the United States at this time, which is some great news, but definitely watching to pay attention to any winter storms that could be forming, or what could you expect. And that's kind of what we went over today with the northeast, kind of going over that snowfall potential of what you could be expecting. But once again, I will be coming out with a video here pretty soon, probably in the next couple of days, talking about who could be possibly getting a white Christmas this year, because I know that's a lot of people's dreams to get a white Christmas. Obviously, if you live down in the southeast or Texas, Florida, you're not getting a white Christmas, but majority of it will most likely be for the northern United States. So if you have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the comments down below. Make sure to follow my X page down in the description as well for most frequent updates here on the weather. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and bye-bye.